Today we expose 7 bread products sitting in UK kitchens that contain chemicals you were never meant to eat, bleaching agents that strip nutrition, preservatives linked to gut irritation, emulsifiers that keep loaves soft for weeks when real bread goes stale in days. For years, families trusted bread as a safe staple, but the loaves in supermarkets today are engineered for appearance, shelf life, and profit, not health. Most shoppers have no idea how far these products have drifted from the real thing. And the final item contains an additive so common that you have almost certainly eaten it this week. Number 7. White sandwich loaves. The foundation of the deception. Walk into any British supermarket and you will find an entire aisle dedicated to sliced white bread. It looks clean, it feels soft, it costs almost nothing, and that is precisely the problem. White sandwich loaves are the most consumed bread products in the United Kingdom. Families buy them without a second thought because they have always bought them. But the loaf sitting in your kitchen today bears almost no resemblance to the bread your grandparents ate. Real bread requires 4 ingredients: flour, water, yeast, and salt. That is it. Yet the average white sandwich loaf now contains between 15 and 20 ingredients, many of which you cannot pronounce and none of which belong in bread. Start with the flour itself. Most commercial white loaves use flour treated with chlorine dioxide or benzoyl peroxide. These are bleaching agents designed to whiten the flour and speed up the aging process that traditional bakers achieved through time. The result is flour stripped of natural nutrients, which is why manufacturers then have to add synthetic vitamins back in. They remove the goodness, then replace it with a chemical imitation. Then come the dough conditioners. Ingredients like azodicarbonamide, which is banned in the European Union but still appears in imported products, and L-cysteine, an amino acid often derived from human hair or duck feathers. These additives make the dough easier to process in factories, but they were never designed for human nutrition. And finally, the preservatives. Calcium propionate is the most common, added to prevent mold. Studies published in the Journal of Pediatric Child Health have linked calcium propionate to irritability, restlessness, and sleep disturbances in children. Yet it sits in almost every budget loaf on British shelves. The soft texture people have come to expect is not a sign of freshness. It is a sign of engineering. Real bread goes stale within a day or two because it is alive. These loaves stay soft for a week or more because they are pumped full of chemicals designed to mimic freshness long after the product should have hardened. This is not bread. This is an industrial product shaped like bread, sold as bread, but formulated in laboratories for shelf life and profit. And if you think the basic loaf is bad, wait until you see what they have done to your dinner rolls. Number 6. Soft roll packs. Engineered for addiction, they sit next to the bread aisle in neat plastic packages. 6 rolls, sometimes 12, perfectly round, impossibly soft, and priced so low you barely think twice. Soft rolls have become a staple of British dinners, barbecues, and packed lunches. But behind that pillowy texture is a formula designed not for nourishment, but for maximum consumer appeal. The first thing you will notice on the ingredient list is sugar. Not just a pinch, but multiple forms. Dextrose, glucose syrup, and sometimes high fructose corn syrup all appear in products marketed as savoury bread rolls. Why would a bread roll need sugar? Because sugar triggers dopamine. It makes food feel more satisfying than it actually is. It keeps you reaching for another roll without understanding why. This is not accidental. Food scientists call it the bliss point, the precise combination of sugar, salt, and fat that maximizes cravings. Your dinner rolls have been engineered to hit that target. Then come the emulsifiers. E471, also known as mono and diglycerides of fatty acids, is one of the most common. It is added to create that soft, uniform crumb structure that mass-produced rolls are known for. But E471 is also associated with gut microbiome disruption. A 2021 study from Georgia State University found that emulsifiers can alter intestinal bacteria and promote inflammation. Stabilizers like xanthan gum and guar gum are added to extend freshness and prevent the rolls from collapsing during transport. These are not dangerous in isolation, but their presence tells you something important. This bread was not made to be eaten fresh. It was made to survive warehouses, lorries, and weeks on the shelf without changing shape. Traditional bread rolls were baked fresh and eaten the same day. They had crust, texture, and character. The soft rolls in plastic packs have none of that. They are uniform, flavourless without their additives, and designed to appeal to a palate that has been conditioned to expect sweetness in everything. You are not buying bread rolls. You are buying edible chemistry sets shaped like dinner accompaniments. But soft rolls do not pretend to be anything other than factory-made. The next product does, and that illusion convinces millions of shoppers to pay more for something far worse. Number 5. Pre-sliced brioche loaves. Luxury branding, factory reality. brioche has a reputation. It sounds French. It sounds indulgent. It sounds like something from a proper bakery, rich with butter and eggs. The kind of bread Marie Antoinette supposedly told peasants to eat. And that is exactly what manufacturers are counting on. Pre-sliced brioche loaves have exploded in popularity across UK supermarkets. They are sold as a premium product, often priced 2 or 3 times higher than standard white bread. The packaging shows golden crusts and promises of continental quality. But turn the bag over and read the ingredients. The illusion falls apart fast. Real brioche is made with flour, eggs, butter, sugar, yeast and salt. The butter content is what gives it that rich, tender crumb. But commercial pre-sliced brioche replaces much of that butter with palm oil. Why? Because palm oil is cheap, stable, and extends shelf life far beyond what butter ever could. Palm oil is one of the most controversial ingredients in the modern food system. Its production is linked to massive deforestation in Southeast Asia, habitat destruction for endangered species, and significant carbon emissions. But for manufacturers, it is a dream ingredient. It stays solid at room temperature, does not go rancid quickly, and mimics the mouthfeel of butter at a fraction of the cost. Then come the artificial butter flavorings, because once you have removed the real butter, you need something to create the illusion it was ever there. Diacetyl and related compounds are often used to replicate that buttery taste. These are the same flavorings that cause severe lung disease in factory workers at microwave popcorn plants, a condition so specific it was nicknamed popcorn lung. Multiple preservatives are added to keep the loaf soft for weeks. Potassium sorbate, calcium propionate, and sorbic acid all make regular appearances. A real brioche from a French bakery would be stale by day 2. A supermarket brioche loaf can sit unopened for a month. This is not artisan bread. This is factory bread wearing a beret. And if brioche loaves surprised you, the next item proves that shelf life has become more important than ingredients. Number 4. Long life flatbreads. Freshness that defies nature. Flatbreads have become a kitchen staple. Wraps, pitas, naans, and tortilla-style breads fill supermarket shelves, promising convenience and versatility. But there is a category of flatbread that should raise immediate concern, the ones marketed as long life. Pick up a pack and check the best before date. Some long life flatbreads carry shelf lives of 6 weeks, 8 weeks or even longer. Think about that for a moment. Bread made from flour and water staying fresh for 2 months. That is not baking. That is preservation through chemistry. The key to this unnatural longevity is acidity regulators. Ingredients like citric acid, lactic acid, and sodium diacetate are added to lower the pH of the bread, creating an environment where mold and bacteria struggle to grow. In isolation, these acids are not harmful, but their presence tells you the bread was never designed to be fresh. It was designed to survive. Stabilizers like hydroxypropyl, methyl cellulose, and methyl cellulose are also common. These are used to maintain texture over long storage periods and prevent the flatbreads from drying out or becoming brittle. They are the same ingredients found in wallpaper paste and pharmaceutical coatings. Technically food safe, but hardly what you picture when you think of traditional bread. The processing methods are equally aggressive. Many long-life flatbreads are partially baked, then sealed in modified atmosphere packaging, where oxygen is replaced with nitrogen or carbon dioxide. This slows oxidation and extends shelf life even further. You're not buying fresh bread, you're buying bread in suspended animation. Traditional flatbreads were made daily in cultures around the world. Naan was baked in tandoor ovens moments before serving. Pita was pulled hot from the oven and eaten within hours. The long-life versions on supermarket shelves have traded that heritage for logistics convenience. When your bread can outlast fresh fruit, vegetables, and even some dairy products, you have to ask what exactly you are putting in your body. And that question becomes even more urgent with the next item, a product that hides behind one of the most trusted words in nutrition. Number 3. Wholemeal loaves with added sweeteners. The health halo deception. This is where the manipulation becomes truly cynical, because wholemeal bread is supposed to be the better choice. It is what doctors recommend. It is what nutrition labels celebrate. It is what health-conscious families reach for, believing they are doing the right thing. And the industry knows it. Wholemeal loaves sit in a privileged position on supermarket shelves. They carry an automatic assumption of virtue. Whole grains, more fibre, slower energy release, all true in principle. But many commercial wholemeal loaves have been so heavily processed that the health benefits are undermined before the bread even reaches your toaster. Start with the sweeteners. Invert sugar syrup appears on ingredient lists with alarming frequency. This is a liquid sweetener made by breaking down sucrose into glucose and fructose, and it is sweeter than regular sugar. Why add it to wholemeal bread? Because whole grains taste earthy and slightly bitter, compared to refined white flour. Manufacturers add sweeteners to make the product more palatable to consumers conditioned to expect sweetness. Some loaves contain multiple sweetening agents. Treacle, molasses, honey, and glucose syrup all make appearances, sometimes in the same product. A loaf marketed as a healthy whole grain option can contain more sugar per slice than a chocolate biscuit. Then come the same dough conditioners found in white bread. Emulsifiers like E472 and flour treatment agents like ascorbic acid are added to create a softer texture that mimics the refined loaves people are used to. The chewier, denser crumb of genuine wholemeal bread is engineered away because consumers have been trained to associate softness with freshness. Preservatives follow the same pattern. Calcium propionate is just as common in wholemeal loaves as in white bread, despite studies linking it to behavioral issues in children. The whole grain content does not protect you from the additives surrounding it. A 2019 survey by Action on Sugar found that some supermarket wholemeal loaves contained as much sugar per 100 grams as certain breakfast cereals. The health halo is not just misleading, it is actively deceptive. Real wholemeal bread should contain whole grain flour, water, yeast, and salt. If the ingredient list runs longer than a paragraph, you are not buying health food, you are buying marketing. If wholemeal can be bent this far, the next category shows just how deeply the industry has pushed the limits of what can still be called bread. Number 2, wraps and tortillas, the flexible fraud. They seem so simple. A thin, pliable disc of bread. No crust, no complexity, just a convenient vessel for whatever filling you choose. Wraps and tortillas have become lunchbox essentials, diet staples, and the foundation of quick weeknight meals across Britain. But simplicity is exactly what these products are not. Pick up a pack of supermarket wraps and count the ingredients. You will often find 15, 20 or more. For a product that traditional Mexican cooks make with 3 ingredients, masa harina, water and salt, that number should shock you. The most concerning addition is hydrogenated oils. Partial hydrogenation creates trans fats, which are strongly linked to cardiovascular disease. While fully hydrogenated oils do not contain trans fats, they are still highly processed and used primarily because they are cheap and extend shelf life. Many UK wraps contain hydrogenated palm or rapeseed oil to keep them flexible in the packet. Then come the propionate. Calcium propionate and sodium propionate are added to almost every commercial wrap to prevent mold. These preservatives allow wraps to stay soft in plastic packaging for weeks, sometimes months. Traditional tortillas would harden or spoil within days. The supermarket versions exist in a state of chemical preservation that defies natural food behavior. Softening agents are equally common. Glycerol, sorbitol, and various emulsifiers are added to prevent the wraps from cracking when folded. That pliability you take for granted is not a natural property of thin bread. It is engineered through additives that keep moisture locked in far longer than baking alone could achieve. A 2020 analysis by the British Dietetic Association flagged wraps as unexpectedly high in sodium, with some products containing over a gram of salt per wrap. Combined with the fillings people add, a single lunch wrap can deliver half your daily sodium limit before you even consider the crisps on the side. And here is the uncomfortable truth. Many consumers switch to wraps believing they are healthier than bread. But calorie for calorie, many flour tortillas are denser than 2 slices of standard bread, and they come loaded with additives that sliced loaves often avoid. You are not eating simple flatbread. You are eating a chemically stabilized, shelf-stable product engineered to fold without breaking and last without refrigeration. But nothing on this list compares to what sits at number 1, the product that represents everything wrong with modern bread. Number 1, ultra-soft toasting loaves, the pinnacle of processing. This is it, the most engineered, most artificial, most aggressively processed bread product on British supermarket shelves. Ultra-soft toasting loaves are marketed as the ultimate convenience. Bread that stays soft for weeks, toasts perfectly every time, and never develops that stale hardness that real bread naturally does. And that is precisely why you should never buy them. These loaves represent the final destination of industrial bread manufacturing. Every trick, every additive, every shortcut the industry has developed over decades converges in a single product designed to feel fresh long after it should have turned to crumbs. Start with the enzymes. Commercial enzymes like amylases and xylanases are added to break down starches and create that signature soft, springy crumb. These enzymes do not have to be listed individually because they are classified as processing aids rather than ingredients. You will often see the vague term flour treatment agents on the label, hiding a cocktail of enzyme preparations that manipulate the bread at a molecular level. This loophole in labeling law means you have no idea what you are actually consuming. The enzymes could be derived from fungi, bacteria, or genetically modified organisms. Without specific disclosure requirements, manufacturers can hide an entire category of processing behind 3 vague words. Emulsifiers are present in force. E471, E472E, E481, and E482 are common, all working to prevent the bread from going stale by interfering with the natural crystallization of starches. This is why ultra-soft loaves feel artificially springy even after a week in the cupboard. The staling process has been chemically interrupted. Mold inhibitors go beyond standard preservatives. Some ultra-soft loaves contain sorbic acid, potassium sorbate, and calcium propionate together, a triple defense against any natural degradation. The bread is not preserved, it is embalmed. The ingredient lists on these products are often the longest of any bread category, 20, 25, sometimes 30 or more components. Sugars, modified starches, humectants to retain moisture, acidity regulators, and flavourings all appear. By the time you reach the end of the list, you have read more chemistry than a GCSE textbook. And the result? A product so divorced from real bread that it barely qualifies as food. It will not go mouldy for weeks. It will not go stale for even longer. It sits in suspended animation, soft and springy, waiting for a toaster. This is not bread. This is the logical endpoint of an industry that has prioritised shelf life over nutrition, convenience over quality, and profit over everything else. This is what they want you to eat.